How's it going, you guys? It's about 6:45 in the morning, and I'm here with a new video. I have not been doing Wi-Fi battles a lot lately because I haven't really been streaming lately. I've actually been doing infrared battles with the people that I know at the Society of Pokemon Masters at UW, and they're a pretty cool group of people. They have tournaments. They do that stuff all the time. If you've been around my channel, you'll know that I fight like the same 8 to like 20 people the entire time, and then there's more people that attend too, but I just haven't been seated with them, or the tournament that I have been seated with them just didn't really turn out to be a very good one for me or something like that. But this one was a fun one. This was a Monotype tournament, and it turns out that I don't actually use I don't think I've ever actually used Dragon in any type of Monotype match ever, which kind of struck me as odd when I was looking through my options. I was considering Normal, I was considering Ghost. Poison even had a worthy mention for a little bit there, but I was like, you know what? I haven't used Dragon, so I'm gonna try using Dragon, and I'm gonna see how it goes. So, she is going to go ahead and lead off with Skarmory. I'm going to go ahead and lead off with my physically defensive Tyrantrum, which is a different set. It is a Stealth Rock Resto Chesto set, I believe, with Head Smash and Earthquake, if I'm not mistaken. But I mainly use it as a switch to Talonflame because I was, for whatever reason, very scared of Talonflame, and very dead set at the time for not using Garchomp, B, which kind of struck me as odd in hindsight, but Talonflame is just such a good switch into, or Tyrantrum is just such a good switch into Talonflame. And I don't know if it ever got the opportunity to prove that factor at the tournament, but it looks good on paper. You don't need me to tell you twice. Right here, I believe I switch in Altaria, actually predicting the switch, or either predicting the hazards or the switch. And I figure the earlier I can get this thing Mega'd, the better, because I will lose a Stealth Rock's. I will lose a Stealth Rock's weakness, and I think the only real thing I have to fear is probably going to have to be that Skarmory stopping me dead in its tracks. But the Skarmory's probably not going to have Steel Stab because they just don't do that. It's kind of weird. So she brings in her Defogger immediately as I set up Stealth Rocks because she does not want those up, being mono flying. The absolute best Stealth Rock switch, and she's going to get away with is, 12%. So. And I believe that's going to be on Gliscor. So, unfortunately, her Defogger did take 25% coming in, so even if she did happen to be physically defensive after a +1, it probably wasn't going to be taking that too well. And honestly, right here, it was my first match in a while. I should have seen the Protect coming. Even if it was there was no loss of benefit to going for Protect there. I honestly thought, she maybe could have gone for damage expecting to take one, because she could have taken one easily. And then she just ends up going for the Toxic right here. So, not a big deal to me. As long as I can get a good amount of mileage off with the +1 returns, I should be okay. But the problem here is the Gliscor is not going to want to stay in, or it's going to want to Protect, because it's that Toxic Protect set, the one that has, like, Sub and Earthquake, I think. So I actually do predict the DD on this next one, and I go for I predict the Protect on this one by going for another Dragon Dance, because I don't like playing this game. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to wipe this Gliscor off the face of the earth as fast as possible, or at least scare it off. It turns out that she actually does end up leaving it in, and I'm actually able to knock it out. I'm not sure the incentive behind that. Maybe to get a 100% clean switch for Skarm, even though it doesn't necessarily need it that much. And the way she brings it in, it definitely does have Roar or Whirlwind. I don't see the motive for running. I guess I have Flamethrower on this thing. It doesn't do as much as I wanted it to because I am Adamant, as opposed to a mixed attacking nature. But, if I got cleaner damage off on that, it would have been okay. I believe that is a Life Orb Healing Wish Latias. I love that set. I think it's fantastic. But I'm going to go ahead and actually hard switch out because she'll have a purpose at a later time. So I bring in Kingdra because it's a beautiful opportunity to set up on a set up Pokemon, or not set up on. I can set up on a support Pokemon, and I'm going to go for the Focus Energy. And if you guys have not seen a Kingdra wipe out a Dragonite from full HP with a crit, it's very cool. Check it out, check it out, check it out. Tell your friends. Wait for it. Boom. That was hot. Oh my god, my nipples are diamonds. Look at that. That was amazing. So, Dragonite is wiped off the face of the planet. I have 100% guaranteed critical hit ratios right now. And I really only got to use it against that because I don't want to get revenge taken out by a Draco Meteor. So, I'm actually going to go out into my Altaria. Just because it is my only Dragon switch-in that I have right now. There's no Dragon Steel Pokemon. And there's not much that I can do against my own dragon outside of Altaria, and Altaria is very good for that reason, so I need to keep it alive as long as I can. Right here, I definitely should have expected the switch in and just gone for the Flamethrower instead. It's all very obvious in hindsight, but I was just really wanting to get rid of the... I really wanted to get rid of that Noivern because it was becoming a big threat to my team. So I'm going to go ahead and switch out right now and decide to go back into my Tyrantrum because I do want to get the rocks up to again to pressure it a little bit. But it turns out, I believe she actually Whirlwinds me back either into this, Whirlwinds me that, or into Latias is what I was, vaguely remembering from like 6 months ago. It seems about right. Also from Sony Vegas footage looking forward, I'm not going to lie, I don't have that good of memory. I barely remember what I ate yesterday for lunch. Did I eat anything? Anyways, coming back to this, she's just going to keep whirlwinding to try to bring that thing back in. I don't think she has any hazards up, but it's more of a disruption thing at this point. And I can reach some middle ground with Goodra here. I'm honestly pretty okay with it. And I believe I have... I do think I have Flamethrower on this, but honestly, I think the safer play there would have been to go for the Thunderbolt, which I also do have, because she has not revealed what type of Charizard she is, and it turns out she's Charizard X, so there's a lot of dragon going on. She actually has 3 dragons going on her side, and that's mildly scary, because 2 of them are going to be extremely hard to break. Now, there's an interesting point that I have to make here, in which I end up going for the Thunderbolt, expecting her to be Y. And that was literally a 50-50 for me, and I lost out on it. I did not want to, I didn't want to use my Draco Meteor prematurely, because if I used Draco and it turned out to be Y, I didn't really have a lot of switch-ins to that either. But looking at it, that was a way riskier play than it needed to be. But it turns out, she only DD'd once, and then Gooey broke her down even on speed. So being back down at base 100 means it is slower than my Latias, and I'm able to get rid of the threat immediately with the Draco. So super awesome to get that thing off the field, because otherwise it would have completely swept me because my Altaria is at a very low amount of HP. And then here on Noivern, I was fully prepared to leave this thing in to die, I'm assuming, but it turns out she actually ends up going for the U-turn and then going into the the Skarmory here. I believe, yeah, I did that. I love getting away with this. This is funny. So I don't really have a lot of need for Latias because A, the dragon is faster than me, and B, the only thing, or I have something that can greatly benefit from a Healing Wish. It's down 75% and happens to be poisoned. We're going to bring that right back up to full. Probably one of my more successful Healing Wishes I've had in my history of playing the game. I think the second best only to when I Healing Wished a Pinsir that would have died to rocks, a Mega Pinsir, so that was super cool. Toxic does come back on. That's honestly fine by me. I believe that did happen to be... Yeah, that was the attack that happened afterwards or whatever, but... Or no, I Flamethrowed. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I was too busy talking about Healing Wish to pay attention to that turn. But I'm really happy to get the Skarmory off the field, and it's only for a little bit of HP too. So I'll take that trade. I don't like being toxic again, and I don't have a way to get rid of it immediately. But I'm still at a good amount of range where I can honestly take a hit from Noivern, provided it does not crit confuse me. And it actually turns out it was a Specs Noivern, and I could have very easily died there. That would have been super risky. Not sure if that crit from return mattered, because Noivern does happen to be fairly fragile. But looking at it, let's see. I did have Kingdra, and then I had Kyurem Black, and assuming that was a Specs Noivern, I probably could have taken a Hurricane and retaliated from there. It just ended up being a little bit trickier at the end than I thought, and I did make some misplays in the middle there, but it was still a very fun game, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you can leave a like rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing. I've got about 6 more games from this tournament to pop up, and they're probably all going to be using the same background since I finally figured out how to do that again, so super fun stuff. Anyways, that should do it out of me, and I will see you guys on the next one. Later.